And we are back for another exciting round of ETS Worlds. The match today, and by today I mean right now, camat0 on his Fire Justice Shadow mid-rangey armory control-y fun time list versus LightsOutAce on the Xenon control. We saw a quick little glimpse of LightsOutAce's deck last round. But we'll see a little bit more about this. Neon, who's joining me in the booth. What are we feeling for this? What are we feeling for this matchup?
Chance to test this a little bit with Rhino yesterday. It was one of the matchups that he was the most concerned about. And of course, LightsOutAce and Rhino worked together for this tournament, so they're playing the same deck. We were surprised by how bad it felt for the Xenon side.
Really?
Yeah. The Xenon deck has just a lot of, like threats that you're kind of placing at one for one, which will really be vulnerable to point removal that can just kind of go down the line and kind of tear you apart like that. And then also a Harsh Rule is just a really good card that is really good against something like these big Xenon decks.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. Now I'm looking at hands here. Both players seem to have reasonable hands. LightsOut going to be able to play this Ion at the end of the turn. However, camat0 is drawing the torch off the top like a champ. Ooh,
the torch is probably going to come out after game one in some numbers. Yeah. You actually see him not casting it there at the end of the turn. There are no ways for it to really be punished from LightsOutAce's deck. Like he doesn't play the anything like Obelisk or anything like that. Now he has
initiation, nothing to give it the bump.
Now, I actually am not a big fan of this particular line because it does leave him open to banish or a second Ion.
Yeah, I agree with it. And I'm also I was going to ask you what's the logic behind not quarrying on turn 2 there?
I don't know what you want yet. Like he has a pretty good mix of removal and threats, etc. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't really want to choose unless he really knows sort of what he's looking for. Like so, for instance, right now he knows pretty certainly that I don't want any more power probably. Yeah. So from here on out, when he gets a chance to quarry, he can choose a lot more specifically about what he's looking for. So. I think that Ace though has lined up his cards pretty well to what his opponent has had as in terms of threats, which is really what I think you need in this matchup for him in order for it to go well.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. One thing that camat0 is short on. Definitely going to be looking for a fire influence, especially with this rise to the challenge off the top, so that makes Akari have an option. And now we see the Akari off the top, unable to cast it though, unfortunately.
But if he does, that is a all-star in this matchup.
Yes,
she is able to totally wreak havoc on Ace because he's not playing Carnosaurs. To be able to eat her up from the sky, which is the way in which Xenon typically wants to address a threat like that.
Yeah, no wasps either. Yeah, there really is no. It's gonna be a 2-for-1 at the very least. However, if we, which LightsOutAce doesn't have the cards in hand that they need. One thing that is a very real threat. Well, actually, with that fire influence off the top, what I was going to say is that LightsOutAce could draw a Varus choice as a way to answer the Ikaria, but with that fire influence, not going to be a thing. We're going to see 5 points of damage. Go ahead and get in through that that Warcry 5 sitting on top of the deck now, making that rise to the challenge a lot better. Things are not looking great for Ace at this point.
I think that Champion of Mystery not able to get in because of the Slay, I imagine.
Yep.
This is really, I think that the Ikaria on curve is the thing that you're the most scared of from LightsOutAce's side, and that's exactly what we saw. So this is pretty much the Nightmare scenario, and he's going to have to draw like a god in order to get out of this, I feel.
Yeah, I believe streamer luck, right? That's what we're we're counting on now. All right. Well, another champion. That's a start. Granted, the influence is a little off. Yeah.
The rise. You think you get just a rune hammer?
Yeah. Looks like it. And I guess we. Okay, and then finish it off with the torch, and go ahead and get 5 points in. All right. I can get behind this. You're gonna camat0 gonna fall down to 11 here on this next swing. Gonna lose the weapon, which is a little unfortunate. But again, we have a war cry of 15 sitting on whatever is on the top of the deck. I will say this game much closer than originally was thinking.
Basically, camat0 just needs to hit whatever it is that's been hitting all these war cries, and the game probably just ends. I mean, I guess that there's hitting a lot of power. This is something that I did see in the games that was a possibility to take place. So LightsOutAce actually is in position to win the race here, surprisingly. Even though not exactly the best tools for the job.
Yeah, so we're going to see camat0 falling down to 5 here. LightsOutAce is going to be able to get a little bit of... Ooh, going down to 4. So get one more attack, and there's a quarry off the top. Wow, this has been very unfortunate for camat0. However, if we find another Icaria... Oh!
He has to harsh rule.
Wow. We're at work right, 25 now? Or are we just at 20? Am I getting a little overzealous?
We've just infinite. Whatever it is just never dying to anything conventional. But of course, as we know, what it's going to be is the Valkyrie Enforcer that gets hit by the Annihilate.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Not nothing, but it's not what he's looking for. Champion of Mystery has to harsh rule that.
Oh my gosh! Wow, these camat0, I feel for you. Man, do I feel for you.
Rough.
All right, let's see. Did just a casual
25 20
Death Strike off the top.
Right on time.
Oh my god.
This is how I like it. This is it.
Yeah,
okay, top deck war. Okay. We'll see if he can still draw a Titan. Titan is really good in this scenario.
We're going to see an Ion come down, ended turn. Not going to be able to get any damage through because with this Icaria. What is Ace digging for right now? A miracle?
Just life gain of some sort. What does he draw with that? Send it. Can't see what he draw yet with that. Was it good enough?
We don't know. Varus. Oh, Varus Fever gets him out of lethal. Puts him down to 1.
No, God.
Oh,
he has to shove the mystic.
And he still goes down to 2. Oh my God, this has been a great fucking game. I'm so enjoying. Oh my goodness.
Okay, let's see. The delay on LightsOutAce's hand is also just so hard. You just want to know what happens.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. camat0's at 2.
We need another harsh rule, right?
3. Sabotage is not going to do it. We LightsOutAce takes the game.
Wow.
Takes 32 Tavron getting hit by Icarius like 7 times in the face, and it's just too easy for him.
Wow.
Come with a real deck next time. Come on out. Icaria, bad card. Temple Scribe getting it done.
Yeah, it's
love it. Okay.
Garbage.
Let's talk about sideboards.
That's Yeah, I have no words after that game. No words after that game. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see what. Okay, so it looks like the players are getting ready to jump in.
Yeah.
With that was they might have something ready. Just built ahead of time. I think that they're just getting in right now. One of the things I was talking about with Rhino when we were testing this matchup before, basically the the Vara's choice is a really good piece of interaction because you're able to hit things like Ikaria from the hand.
Yeah.
What we learned from that matchup, of course, is that it doesn't matter because she's just not good enough. Also, you do want to get in the Carnosaur. The predatory Carnosaurus is able to kill those sorts of things. We're getting started, though. Sabotaging, still, of course, for Camat0. Useful tool for taking out key pieces of interaction.
Yeah, I guess you just fire. Waiting on the sabotage. Okay, I can. I don't know. Like, I guess let your opponent draw some more cards. I like firing off my discard a little earlier.
I don't think that your power is that pressed for now. And I also like the idea of keeping up the protect because of the possibility of hitting your.
Well, I mean, you still get to keep up protect when you sabotage, right? Like, I guess, like, I don't know. And then you wouldn't have to have used your protect there, but then you're just trading it for the choice. Oh boy, that's going to be a turn for Tavrod.
And Ace does not have protect too. Do you keep up the? I almost actually prefer Camat0 playing out the Tavrod next turn, so that you can keep the protect up as well.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I do not. Now the question is here: if you're Camat0, do you play around against? Do you play around double Vara's favor? Oh wait, yeah. And no, actually, Vanish hits his Tavrod now. All right.
No, that's an important thing that I think came up in some of our testing last night too. That we'll have to see how it ends up playing out. Now he does have the protect still, which matters, but he can't attack in here, right? Like I don't want to trade my Tavrod for Steward of the Pass, and this is not particularly likely to hit too.
Yeah. No, but this is fine. I actually do like this swing. Well, I like the swing a lot more when you're actually going to hit, because we're probably going to be firing off Harsh Rule anyway in the next few turns, and you're taking. I guess you're taking 5 this way, and you would have been taking, or you're taking like 6 this way. You've been taking 4. Sabotage,
close, but the protect is going to save it. But I think that this is a pretty clear, tell right now for LightsOutAce. The Harsh Rule is coming, so Camat0 is not going to be able to get anything else out of it. So that's a pretty important interaction there. However, I think is playing pretty tight.
Yeah, we are going to be able to. We're going to see an on-curve Ikaria though, so yeah, I definitely like firing off the Harsh Rule at this point. We're going to get there's going to be a Steward of the Past left, and then LightsOut's going to have to draw a power in order to play this Champion of Mystery. There's the Vara's favor. That's going to allow him to play the Champion of Mystery. It's not going to be turned on though.
That'll be happening all shortly. Now, Suffocate's good, but you're not going to be playing that this turn. You have
no, next turn. Yes.
Something that is worth noting, Camat0's doing this now. Like in the last game, he was at 20 when he landed Ikaria, and now
To be fair though, that was like an almost unrealistic amount of draws without hitting literally anything.
Now.
So I don't think we're going to see the same kind of shenanigans happen. Maybe we will. But as we're sitting right now, Camat0 looking pretty good.
Oh, that's a big boy.
That's beefy.
We've got a big old 12-ounce pound of beef here, just ready to go. So that'll close up the game. But one of the things that I should note quickly about how things that played out in that game, we had the Banish in LightsOutAce's hand. This was one that in the testing yesterday, I know that both LightsOutAce and
Tavrod.
Yeah, 2020 Tavrod, no big deal. 2017 rather. But hey man, it's that year. It's the first time I've seen a 2017 unit.
Oh,
maybe one of the first times in the game. On record, as everybody knows. But the one of the things that the two of them were debating a lot in the sideboarding plan actually was the Banish, because it's it doesn't hit a lot of stuff. It's hard to know how many Rune Hammers are going to be in post board because they do have the Banish. You can imagine them taking them out. Your opponent is going to be keeping in still some number of Saturate Maidens, of course, though. But is that something that you really want to hit? It's kind of a little bit of a close choice. I almost prefer in that game had Ace found a way to exchange that banish with the Tavrod that happened earlier in the game. But I can understand the pan out that happened, how it ended up happening, because it did seem so much like his opponent had a harsh rule.
Yeah, and that game would have played out much differently, because then that would have might have forced it probably doesn't force the protect, right? Because the plan is still a harsh rule at that point. So then you still have the protect for the sabotage. So I don't know how much that actually changes it, because you still would have been able to get an attack in. All right. Either way, game very much underway though. We're going to see a Statuary Maiden come down for camat0, not statuary. Important distinction to make. 2 Rune Hammers in hand for camat0, going to be able to answer this Ion. That's kind of a fishy swing. I appreciate camat0 not taking that block.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to get a Cudgel out of this. Not going to be able to play it this turn. Do you, especially with the Tavrod in hand, do you just block and go ahead and trade with the Steward of the Past, or do you like leaving the Statuary Maiden around? Like, you get another Cudgel. You still have your weapon. I like this. You get a really big like problem unit off of your face. All right, Vara's favor. That's fine. You're hammer rich. It is hammer time. You could almost
hammer rich, but power poor. I'm surprised by camat0 keeping in all of the Rune Hammers. It looks like, to be honest. Now it is like they're doing okay work here, but it's not great for the matchup.
Yeah.
Now, camat0 is going to be able to hit his 5th power, so that we are going to be able to see harsh rules and Tavrods, etc., coming down in the near future. But and LightsOutAce just kind of flooding out, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this Carnosaur actually not going to do very much. This Tavrod going to come down. Fortunately, with that 7 health. Just kind of laughs at the Carnosaur. Mystic Ascendant, I think, is step 1 to getting back into the game.
That's what you need to get back into this. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no 2-power removal spell that he can use to clear off the Tavrod. Now the Tavrod's going to get suited up and beat in for a lot of damage. LightsOutAce is going to a pretty precarious life total.
Yeah, this is looking less than ideal for sure. Going down to 8 here, going down to 4 here. This is going to be tough. Yeah, I imagine we're just going to see a swing and then a harsh rule and then hit him with the weapon. Or I guess you don't even need to play the harsh rule, right? Because they're forced to chump here.
Just from here to win, no doubt. So unfortunate that came down on those last 2 games for LightsOutAce, but it was definitely a sweet match. Nonetheless, that first game was worth it all. But congratulations to camat0 of moving firmly into first place.
Yeah.
We'll see if we have any other results to talk about right now. So camat0, as I was saying, firmly into the driver's seat with a 10-3 right now. Sunnyvale 9-4, so Rhino on 8-4. Still, so his match hasn't reported yet either. See if we see any other results on Earthly. Down to 8-5. Ooh, so it looks like he maybe lost to Sunnyvale. Just from, I guess things gonna maybe I'm mistaken here. But yeah, so there's still a lot of results coming in. See if we have another match to jump into. On backup.
And while we're waiting for that, I'm still more than happy to talk about that game 1. That game 1 was that was something fun. I have to imagine.
Special.
X Kirby, I feel like gonna get a highlight or 2 from that game.
Maybe. Hard to tell. That was close. Feels like it'll sneak in that highlight reel. So you are then really liking camat0's deck, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. I've liked this a lot more. I've been talking with a couple of my buddies outside. We've been kind of looking at like how we could attack the meta, and a lot of I've got a couple new friends that are just getting into the game, kind of switching over Magic, so getting them kind of situated. And this is thankfully with Tavrod coming in the expansion, very easy to pick up. So this is a deck that we've been looking at quite a bit, especially after Bart getting the nerf. I'm liking this build a lot more than some of the heavier armory versions of the deck that I've seen. I think this just lets you be a little bit more flexible. Yeah, because I think some of the armory lists that I was looking at just didn't even have like Rise to the Challenge in it, and it seems like that's I don't know, if you're playing a mid-range and or bigger fire justice deck, you should probably be playing some number of Rise, at least for some sort of toolbox.
I haven't seen anything yet, so we can talk about it some more. One of the things that I am thinking about, actually, that looking at this deck, I've seen a lot of people who are coming in from Magic that will ask, okay, what's a deck that is the most like Jund? Jund is a deck that a lot of people really like, especially who play a lot of modern Magic. And up until now, I've never seen a deck that I'm like, this is Jund-like.
It feels like it.
This one is very Jund-like, relatively speaking. We have the discard spells. We have the terrifying threats, like the top. Like if there's some Tavrod is kind of a Tarmogoyf, / Bob kind of hybrid. It's obviously a bit bigger and thicker than those ones which are ultimately fairly low to the ground, as is the case for a lot of modern Magic decks. But very much in that school of thought, of just up and down, efficient, powerful cards. Maybe not a ton of synergy, but just raw efficiency.
Yeah, all it's looking to do is generate incremental advantages and eventually beat your face.
We have an interview coming up. Actually, seeing that from the casting tournament stuff that will be coming up really shortly. So hopefully you all enjoy that and stick around for the next round. Any closing thoughts before we send it off to them?
I got nothing. I was going to say something witty, and it's just not working. So, that's gonna. So that is going to be it. We're going to go ahead and cut here, and we will see everybody here soon.